Locked On Falcons POSTCAST, part of Locked On Sports Atlanta, your team every day.
We are here for another Locked On Falcons postcast, another thrilling Falcons victory. The defense makes a big stand and they walk away with a 23-20 win over this Cleveland Browns football team. Falcons record now at 2-2. Jarvis, things are going good for the Falcons. With I was a little nervous there at the end. It's like, okay, defense got to get a stop. Oh boy, here we go. But 2 weeks in a row. 2 weeks in a row, they came through. Got a sack from Grady Jarrett. You got the game-winning, game-sealing interception from Dee Alford. Similar to kind of how it went last week with Grady Jarrett and Lorenzo Carter getting that sack, and then Richie Grant getting the game-sealing interception. So, where are your thoughts at with this Falcons game?
I'm amazed when you think about it, because they're like I just got to give a quick shout out to Arthur Smith, because when you think about the mistakes your boy was making, and he was just like, all right, I'm throwing the ball too much. I'm just going to go back to bare bones. We just going to go to do what we do and figure it out in the end. And that's exactly what they did. They went back to running the football. I think that drive where they had 10 runs and Caleb Huntley finishing it off the drive with that touchdown run at the end of the game, I think that was a statement right there saying, hey, Marcus, we don't need you to win the football game. We're going to go with what got us here, and that's that being successful in the run game. And I was absolutely amazing. Then, of course, like you mentioned, Grady Jarrett getting a sack again. Like, come on, man. Like, they paid this man. Grady is on pace to do something. He's on pace to have probably an all-pro season, man. Like, I'm calling it right now. Grady is his all-pro conversation right now, today. Like, because he's just been absolutely killing it in these past few games, man. When you're talking about closing out, when you need a play from your guy, he's been absolutely doing it, man. Too excited.
Absolutely. And, I was saying to the Locked On Browns guys earlier this week, it's going to be a race to get 200 yards. And whoever gets to there fastest is going to wind up winning the game. And when I said that, I didn't really think that was going to come true, but it did come true. The Falcons got 202 yards in this game. The Browns got 177. Both teams ran the ball 35 times in this game. As you mentioned, Caleb Huntley came through on that big 10-play drive where I think he had like 6 out of the 10 runs on that drive and capped it off with a touchdown. He finished with 10 carries for 56 yards and a touchdown. Tyler Algier had 10 carries, 84 yards. Cordarrelle Patterson had 9 carries for 38 yards and a touchdown. We didn't see a lot of Patterson in the second half, but you did see Algier and Huntley sort of pick up the slack really on that one 10-play drive. And I think that kind of, as you said, Jarvis, is kind of the defining drive of this game for this Falcon team, where they just kind of were like, you know what, Mariota has – he was like 1 for 8 at that point in time. Yeah, like after a really good start in the first quarter. Like I thought Mariota had put together one of his best first quarters so far this season, and then just something happened in the second quarter, and then he just basically decided he wanted to, I guess, call it quits on this game. It's just like
it was so weird. It was so weird, Aaron, when you think about it, because I was just literally tweeting out. And I was just like, man, this dude is making some good decisions. And I even mentioned on ATL Day Ones, and I think I mentioned when we had our conversation, I'll hit on Thursday. I was just like, I want to see Marcus Mariota step up in the pocket, stick it in there. If you see that pressure, don't be so quick to run and make a good throw. And he did that in the first quarter. He threw the ball to Olamide Zaccheaus, and I thought it was like, man, that was exactly what I'm talking about. Do that. Continue to do that. But as you said, like you mentioned, it just started. He went from sugar to you know what in just a matter of quarters, And I think that, as the head coach of the team, Arthur Smith made that executive decision saying, you know what? We ain't going out like that. I don't want to have those, hey, should Desmond Ridder get the opportunity to start now? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't want that. Like, we don't want to have those conversations right now. And I think that, for Huntley and Algier to come in like they did and tote that rock for whatever's going on with Cordarrelle Patterson, obviously we'll get some more information on that as, things go along. But I think that, to have those young guys come in and step in like they did, and, I think it was just exactly what the doctor ordered when you're talking about trying to come to 500, and petty Aaron Freeman should be coming out at some point, right?
Yeah, I think we got some time for some pettiness to close out today's show, but we'll keep it fresh as we continue today's Locked On Falcons postcast here on Locked On Sports Atlanta. Jarvis, let the people know what other things they can get fresh with Coffee AM.
How about that? Coffee AM, Coffee A King here. Jarvis Davis here to tell you about what's going on at coffeeam.com/locked on. That's the website you need to go to. Now I'm about to tell you why you need to go there, because it is the best small batch coffee roaster in the entire country, and it's right in your backyard. Yes, if you're sitting right there in Decatur and saying, man, I need me some good old coffee, go to coffeeam.com. Or if you're in Hiram, Georgia, go to coffeeam.com. Or even if you're in Tyrone, Georgia, go to coffeeam.com. They got everything you need. Now you're telling me, Jarvis, stop yelling at me. I'm gonna stop yelling at you, and I'm about to give you some more incentive to go to coffeeam.com, right? Here you go. When you get to the website, drop in the coupon code box Locked On. You're gonna get 15% off your first order. That's off of all coffee, teas, and gift sets. So if you're not into coffee, not into tea, hey, no excuse. You still can get a gift set for your friend, because hey, you might want to be impressed that young lady or that young man, about what you got going on. Know they're good coffee drinkers. So yeah, go to coffeeam.com/locked on. Drop in the coupon code box Locked On. You're gonna get 15% off. Go ahead and pull up on the best small batch coffee roaster in the country.
Absolutely. I needed some coffee AM today because
Yes.
I was very tired this morning. And
Yes, indeed.
fortunately for me, the Falcons brought the drama, so my heart was beating real fast. So I was very much awake by the time we got to the end of that game today. But let's get petty for a moment, Jarvis.
Yes, let's do it.
One of the things I said earlier this week was, the Falcons winning this game was exactly how I predicted it going into the season. And I'm just to be petty for a second,
Right,
for all
yeah,
the people
no
that,
problem with that.
when I predicted the Falcons to go 5-12 this season, we're like, yo, what do you know, Aaron? I'm like, well, I don't know much, but I did know how the season would start. 0-2 and then 2-2. So I just for the three of you that commented on that YouTube video, I just wanted to point that out. Let's take a moment.
Yes,
Sorry.
yes, I love Petty Aaron. I love when Petty Aaron comes out, and then me, Petty Jarvis is going to come out on social media. Go to Locked On ATL to see what I'm going to do, because I am guaranteed to go find a tweet from the Ultimate Sports Cleveland show, who's talking all this trash, all overconfident in the comments all week, Aaron, about what the Cleveland Browns going to do, and the Falcons are bums, they're trash, and all this good stuff. Guess what? Y'all about to catch it, because I'm going straight to Twitter as soon as I get off this doggone postcast, and I'm gonna go ahead and drop a couple petty jewels out there for you guys. So make sure you check us out on Locked On ATL. But I want to bring this up too, Aaron. You know how people act like they forgot Amari Cooper was a good wide receiver, right? And he got off to a really good start to start the season. One man had one catch and 9 yards. Like anybody seen Amari Cooper? Like,
Wait, Amari?
What? Amari?
Where
Coop?
you at?
Coop? Oh, you with the Browns? Oh, I thought you were still with the Cowboys, because he had one catch for 9 yards today. Yeah, man. Guess who was on him, Aaron? 2-4. See, if for all you people out there, here I go. For all you people out there who want to call out AJ Terrell when he gets beat, you know what I'm saying? Because it happens in the NFL against a guy like DK Metcalf, who is an excellent receiver, by the way. You got to point out the facts when he does his thing. Like he did his thing today. He locked up Amari Cooper. Kevin Stefanski was trying to call all type of different formations to free him up. And AJ Terrell was like, no, these clamps are on you today, sir. So yes, people, you got to be balanced with this thing. I understand, you want to point out bad things about the Falcons, but when they do good and they ball, you got to point it out. Because AJ Terrell, salute to you, my boy, because you played a hell of a game today.
I also want to shout out in addition to Grady Jarrett up front, thought Taquan Graham played a really good game. And I gotta give love for Anthony Rush, man. Don't hurt me, Anthony.
Yeah, you had two of them things today,
making,
two solid TFLs, right?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
So I think the defensive front, again, we're looking at the stat sheet. We're going to see the Browns ran for 177 yards. No one's going to walk away from this game and say, hey, the Falcons' run defense was great in this game. But I thought they made some stops when they needed to.
Yes.
And I want to give those guys a shout out. Like if they, it was mostly the second level tackling, missing some tackles,
Yeah,
and
it
Chubb
was.
on that level, not really the guys up front in terms of controlling the line of scrimmage. So I just want to give a shout out to those guys as well.
Yeah, man, you have to, because when you think about like the leading rusher in Nick Chubb and having the backup, I feel dirty calling Kareem Hunt a backup, because he's a starter on probably about 15 to 20 teams in the NFL when you actually think about it. But to contain him, right? We never said that. You and I had conversations. Tanisha and I on our show had conversations. We never said that they had to shut him down or they were going to shut him down. We said they just had to contain him, and they did that. Like I know 107-something yards is a lot. That's a lot of yardage on the ground. But when they had to throw, guess what happened? The clamps came in, and I think that's all you can ask for when you talking about Jacoby Brissett being the guy to putting the ball in his hands. To try to win the game, and they absolutely shut it down just like they were supposed to.
Absolutely. So, guys, another win for the Falcons. Again, we'll see what happens the rest of the season, but ain't nobody gonna be complaining on Monday about the Falcons. Defense stepped up, run game stepped up. This team's identity of being that bend but don't break defense. This team's identity of being that physical run team. You saw that on display on this day, with the Falcons walking away 23-21 for Jarvis Davis and myself here on the Locked On Falcons postcast. We're wrapping things up. We'll be back covering this game all week long. Myself on Locked On Falcons. Got another show airing later tonight on Locked On Falcons. So if you want to get more insight into that, check that out. Jarvis and Tanisha will have you covered, as well as Mark and John on ATL Day Ones and Locked On Sports Atlanta all week long. Make sure you follow, subscribe, hit that bell, give us a like, all that and more. And make sure you check out Coffee AM if you're going to go out celebrating this, get that little energy boost as well. Use that promo code Locked On for tonight. So guys, we really appreciate you tuning in for another postcast. We'll be back with more coverage of this Falcons win all week long on Locked On Falcons and Locked On Sports Atlanta.